Diana. Okay, we went to church today. Yes, it was so awesome. I left there lifted. Woohoo! Okay, I wanted to make you a video for two reasons. Number one, because it's easier for me to talk than to type, and I want you to hear it in my voice. I want you to hear how passionate I am about what I'm saying to you. Number two, I wanted you to see me while I'm all dressed up. This is about as fancy as I get. A white t-shirt and a cardigan. But eyeliner, that's fancy. Lipstick, that's fancy. As opposed to my last video where I was in a bathing suit freezing. So I wanted you to see me looking all cute. Who am I kidding? I think I look cute today. Look, I even curled my hair. Come on. Somebody's got to see this. Okay. But I digress. I'm making this quick because look, there's one of my 5 hungry kids. Listen to me. It is my honor. It is my privilege to give you back what you gave me. All right, here it is on a silver platter on the palm of my hand. Diana, we have a disease. It is ugly. But fortunately, it's not necessarily terminal. Now, it could be the death of our potential. It could be the death of God's plan for us. It could be the death of our spirit. But we could live well into our 90s with keeping this disease active. But we don't want to do that because we've had a taste and see what the Lord has made. What is that verse? Oh, she could not, here she is. She couldn't get through that door. This is our house. This is our old house. That's a pile of rocks that came out from underneath our house when we remodeled it. They're going to use that to build a porch, blah, blah, blah. You and I have tasted the goodness of this new life. Hi, sweetie.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, Charlie sent her to me. Listen to me. You help him empty that van out and put those groceries away, and then you can play. And if you don't, you're grounded, all right? You're supposed to be helping. You're supposed to be working right now, okay?
Okay.
You got it. Here, I'll let you in the door. You got to put the groceries away. Come on in. Oh, you locked that. Go around the other way. Hi, Pearl. Okay. Listen to me. You and I have had a taste of this new life, and it is amazing. It's freedom within boundaries. We are not, what does my friend say? My friend Jennifer, I'm going to have to figure it out and I'll email it to you. But she says the boundaries are not, basically it's the boundaries that give us the freedom. For instance, see that field right there? We have cattle. There, you can probably see some. We have cows and bulls. They're happy within the fence that they're in. If we took away that boundary, they wouldn't be happy. They'd be dead on the highway. There's a highway. And they'd be destructive, and they would kill people probably running around the highway. Anyways, God has given us boundaries and parameters, and I think there are probably times where we don't want them, and we're irritated that we have to deal with it. But again, oh girl, this is real. We have a disease. I'm looking you in the eyes. You and I both, we are addicted. The way you describe leaving the house, the way you describe stealing from your coworker to get your fix, the way at the restaurant last night when I was having a pity party because I wanted to eat the okra. Now listen to that. I get it. I get how someone can be so addicted to a drug that other people say, you'd throw your life away, you'd throw your marriage, your kids away for that, you would keep after that hit. Yes, because they cannot control it. Only God can. It's by the grace of God that we control this. And I am so humbled to realize how much help I need. Both of my last 2 videos to you, I'm shivering. I'm shivering in this one. Okay, I'm going to get to the point here. We have a disease. We need help to manage it. Don't you dare for a minute feel bad about what happened this morning. It's like my aunt once told me, don't be depressed about being depressed. Don't feel bad about feeling bad. Feeling bad is the nature of this disease. And we blindly turn to our drug to feel better But you can't unlearn what we've learned. And we now know that that drug does not make us feel better. Not in the big picture. We have a new lease on life, and that drug only helps us in the moment. Okay. Hold on. I think that you had a rough morning this morning because you're about to start your period. I absolutely think it's because you allowed your brain to tweak and add. That I really, hear me when I say this. I'm your friend, right? And my friend Jennifer would say this to me, and I hope you would too. I believe that's your addiction at work, trying to figure out. Notice Susan Pierce Thompson doesn't say 2 days before your period, add this, this, and this. I think that's your addiction, trying to squeeze in. Mine does it too. I am so with you on this. I also think the fact that I binged the other day probably subconsciously had some effect on you doing it too. I know that probably my husband fallen off the wagon a week ago, eating a bunch of bread and a cookie, probably had something to do with me. Anyways, but all of it, this is what I want to hand back to you, that I'm so excited to hand back to you. It's just a science experiment. That's all it is. Do not let the enemy make you feel bad about feeling bad. No guilt, no shame, and no worry. Those are from the enemy. That's what he wants you to self-destruct and self-isolate and self. No, you are not alone in this. I'm pointing my finger at you, girl. You have me and you're not getting rid of me. So you're not alone in this. I am a light. I have Christ within me. You are a light. You have Christ within you. We are not hanging out in this darkness. And Satan himself is not going to let it. We're not going to allow him to, like I said, we veer off. But once we veer off, I mean, you see that highway right there? If I weren't looking where I was going and I veered off and ended up in the ditch, the last thing I'm going to do is hang out in that ditch. The last thing I want to do is hang out in that ditch. And my teeth are chattering. And stay there. No. If you ran your car off the road, you would get back on the road as quickly as possible, because the road is where you want to be. It's where you're moving forward. And you spoke on it the other day. We got to move, girl, and we got to move forward. God does not expect perfection, but he does expect direction. So get headed in the right direction ASAP. And that, I feel a little bit hypocritical, because typically when I fall off the wagon, you talked about being in the food. I just hit it hard until well, I will say, typically until the clock strikes midnight. But the other day when I was going so crazy all day long, one of my kids was like, I think you've had enough sugar. And then I was like, I think so too. And I stopped at about 8:48 and told my family, that's it. And I went back to that hotel room and sat there and thoroughly enjoyed a cup of black decaf coffee. And so, you know what? I can say that. I can say that with integrity. I can say that. Get back on your path now, okay? As soon as you discern is now. Let me encourage you. Whatever. You do what, literally, you do what you and God decide, because sometimes instead of getting it out of my system, sometimes I almost feel like I have to get it in my system. Sometimes I almost feel like I have to just mentally get something over with. I have to just crash and burn so that I can rise and be made new again, and God can put the pieces back together. So anyways, you get back on your path as soon as you and God decide you need to. But anyways, I'm just so excited, Diana. This is all I want to say, and I can wrap it up just like this. It's just a science experiment. You had a hypothesis. You conducted the experiment, and now you have the conclusion, and there should be no shame, no guilt, and no worry in any of that. This is objective. You are not your body, and you are not your behaviors. So don't feel bad about you. Just feel bad about those behaviors and say, no, don't want to do that. I can honestly tell you that the first year that I was pretty well following Bright Line Eating, pretty well, I was blown away that like all of a sudden I'd start my period. and I didn't see it coming. Now, the funny thing is, because I didn't crave stuff, I couldn't distinguish whether I was craving it because of my period or I was just craving it because I didn't need it anymore. I sort of had a steady level of craving all the time. So when you're really doing it and you're really following the plan, I think that it is possible to just keep your food very, very, very steady and let your body do its thing. Let your body go up and down and all around. And as women with children and working and sleep, hormones, and aging, these bodies are so ever changing. Again, I would never want to try and match my food to that. For one thing, because our addictions need as much steady as possible. So you had a hypothesis, you did your experiment, you got a conclusion. Do not feel bad about it. Mwah! I love you. Hang in there. I am so with you. We are so addicted. We have a disease. And I kid you not, if I took 100 people and we all put our problems in a big pile, you know, and some people's problems are what I would consider to be my worst nightmare, and I put this problem in a pile, I'd be like, excuse me, sorry everybody, sorry. And I would reach right back in and grab my problem and be like, I'm gonna go ahead and leave now, because I don't even want to know the pain that other people have experienced. And that list is a long list. So, like you said, you have everything you need: a warm home, a loving husband, support, me. You have me, and I have you. This is an experiment. Don't you dare feel bad. There is no guilt, no shame, no worry. That is of the enemy. Okay? That is of the enemy. That is not of God. He convicts us to do better, and it's inspiring. It is not. It lifts. God is a lifter. Let him lift you. Let him lift you to where he wants you to be, which is a process. He does not ask us to go from, he doesn't ask us to get here every day. He just asks us to get here, and then here, and then here. And some days we go, "Wah," and he's like, all right, now here. Now here. Okay, he's so gentle, so kind, so patient. I want you to feel the gentleness, the kindness, the patience, not the guilt, the shame, the worry. Love you. Bye.